Obviously, if you need to exit at any point, don't worry. The session's being recorded, or if you want to come and rest at any stage, likewise, you can just come and rest when you need to. Okay, so either on a chair or standing. We'll just take a few moments to have a little wriggle in the body. So a little bit of a shake out along your legs and your arms. Take the arms up, let the wrists be floppy, and then shake the arms out. And just try that a few times. Just let the arms, the wrists be floppy, and then just shake out. Some shoulder shrugs, a little bit of spiraling across your shoulders. And then a little bit of movement in the leg as well. So if you're standing, finding a balance point, maybe put your hand on a worktop. And same on the other side. And just invite some circles in your ankles there as well. So if you're standing, it's a chance to explore your balance. Circle your ankles. You can circle your wrists as well. So get your feet back on the ground and just invite some nice movement for your wrists here. And just get a sense of how you're feeling today. As you bring this movement into your body, how do you feel? Can you interlace your fingers and push the hands away? And breathe into that space that you find through the back of the body. And then release it. Sigh the breath out. And then the same behind as well. So interlace the fingers. Take the arms away. Your chest is lifted. Take a breath in. Maybe those hands move away from you. Maybe not. And then relax the arms. Okay. So we'll just take a few moments to come into the breath. You might like to place your hands. I've got two sort of areas that I'm interested in at the moment. Rib cage, so this diaphragm, rib cage region. You leave your hands like it's like a kind of an upper. So you're not on your hips, it's higher than the hips, but your hands can rest onto your side. Now, if that's not comfortable, it could be a hug. So you're coming in across that base diaphragm. And we're just going to start to bring awareness to the breath here. So notice what's happening in your shoulders. As you begin to change your arm positions, just notice what happens around your shoulders, in your face as well. Chin wants to be lightly drawn in towards your throat. We're just going to take some time to become aware of the breath. As you breathe in, the lungs begin to fill with air. This region becomes spacious and the rib cage expands out and also up. And then as you breathe out and the lungs begin to empty, the rib cage softens down and in, and the belly draws in on itself. So I'd like you just to experience that breath connection in your body. A few rounds of breath. And when you're ready, then we go a little bit higher up. So we're here. You see this collarbone region? The fingertips spread and the hands rest by the sides. So my fingertips are in touch with my collarbones. Now we're not lifting the shoulders or lifting the arms. We're simply feeling the way the breath moves up in the body. So this lift arises with the breath in. So I say I'm interested in two areas, this diaphragm region and this upper chest region. And in yoga specifically, this area will be referred often to as the heart space. So when you're ready, start to invite your hands to move around the heart space, encapsulating that rib cage across your chest and then up to the collarbones. And this heart space is our seat of prana. So you might have come across the word prana before, you might not, that's okay. Prana is Sanskrit for vitality or life force. So if you think of everything that's happening in this rib cage region, all these vital organs, the lungs, the heart, you have your upper, you have your tummy somewhere in here. I'm not going to go too much into anatomy because I always get it wrong, but you know, there's a lot encapsulated in this area that's enabling circulation in the body. So that circulation is fanning out from here into the rest of the body. And the ancients believed that this part of the body was like an upward moving energy. So if you think of the energy of spring, upward moving from the ground. So this region here is very much relating to that upward moving energy. When we move down to the abdomen, the pelvis and the lower back, it's more of a downward moving energy. If you think of everything that's happening in this region, it's more to do with elimination. So the practice today is going to be focusing on this upward moving energy, but we still need this downward moving energy for support in order for us to feel that expansion. So the pelvis is like a bulb in the ground, and then the spine is up away from the ground. So that's our little thread for the practice. So give yourselves a hug for a moment and just see if you can find, it doesn't matter if you can't, somewhere around your shoulder blades. And just draw the chin in towards your throat, like you're giving yourself a little squeeze. And then on a breath in, take the arms out, 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 and away from yourself. So as you breathe in, cross the arms the other way, give yourself a little squeeze, a little hug. And then as you breathe in, lift out and up from that place. So let's explore that a few times. Gathering in on yourself as you breathe out. Lifting up and out as you breathe in. And it's almost like your arms are invited to grow longer. Imagine that through to your fingertips, because the tissue around the shoulders is tight, around the spine is tight. So if we can just have a moment to elongate that, then essentially your arms will get a little bit longer. And let's go for one more round after this. Just sense that opening and then that gathering in. And then let your arms release. Sighing your breath out. Okay. So thinking about a cat-cow pose, imagine from a chair that you're on all fours, so your hands are going to slide. So from standing, it's very similar. You're going to slide your hands, and then as you breathe in, there's this little elongation from the tail along the spine. So my knees are a little bit bent. This is if I'm standing. And then on the exhale round in, like you're taking that cat stretch. So on the breath in, there's that hinge at your hips, the bottom extends back, your chest is lengthening. On the breath out, you're gathering in on yourself. Try to lift a little bit higher so you're not quite in that forward bend. It's more of a chair pose position. So it's just a little bit of a bend in the knees. Now think about your chest. Have your chest lifted as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, you can round towards the sky. On the breath in, lengthen. On the breath out, round in. So let's just explore that a couple more times with your breath. And when you feel ready to come back to neutral, find yourself in a standing or seated position, settling down. So that downward moving energy is rooting. That's the connective energy through the feet, through the pelvis. And then the upward moving energy is light towards the sky. So often we feel very heavy in the body. So let's encourage a quality of lightness. And bring your hands into a sort of prayer position. in the center of your chest. And imagine smiling, drawing a smile with your hands. So you move them from side to side gently. Now, to begin with, just try to keep your face kind of more forwards. So Karen, looking more straight ahead with your gaze and bringing the movement more into the elbows and your hands. Okay. Then you can turn a little and then you can bring your gaze into it. And then you come back a few rounds, mobile, and then you can turn the other way. So just explore this a few times dynamically in the middle and then invite a turn. Exhale, come back a few times dynamically in the middle and then a turn. Breathing out. And explore that a couple more times with your breath. It's very different. If you take the hands past the heart and turn, you get a slightly deeper twist. The shoulders are kind of more involved. If you try to keep your hands in the heart space and then turn, just notice that that is a different movement. You can kind of have a little play with that. Either the hands move away and then you turn, or you keep your hands in the center of your chest and then turn. Just whenever you feel ready to come back to center, just let your hands have a bit of a shake out there. Okay. So just a little bit more on this limbering side. Imagine you're going to push away from yourself. So if you're seated, it's like you lean forwards and then you come back. You lean forwards and then you come back. If you're standing, bending your knees, leaning forwards and coming back. So my chest is kind of more upright in the standing position. Now see if you can exhale and press the hands away. Breathe in. Let the wrists be floppy as you bring them back. It's almost like a rowing action. You're pressing forwards and coming back. Now in a moment, have a little play with some different angles. So you can push up and then come back. So you can push the arms up and then come back. And you can push the arms out to the side and then come back. And you can go forwards and then come back. So have a little play with some different angles with your arms. And then just once more, kind of exploring different ideas. Take one arm up and one arm away and then come back. One arm up, one arm away. So just exploring a few different routes into this. Lovely. Finding that length in your body as you go. And also some nice bending action as well. Okay. We've lost Becky for a moment, a bit frozen. You might have my audio, so I'm just going to carry on. Okay, so just a few more. When you feel ready to come back, just let yourself be in a neutral position. Lovely. And notice how you feel. So that is quite an energizing way to move your body. So notice the circulation that's occurring in your system. Okay, so you can be standing or you can be seated. You okay? We lost you a bit there. We're just going to start to move into a forward fold. So again, either from a chair or from standing. As you breathe out, hands slide down over your legs as you fold over your legs. As you breathe in, come halfway. Slide your hands towards your knees and lift your spine. So your spine is like a tabletop. Then breathe out and round over your legs, bend your knees. And then bend the knees a little more. So if you're in the chair, just fold a little more deeply and then exhale to rise. Exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. Slowly, slowly finding that forward fold. On the in-breath, come halfway. Find your long spine. And then snuggle in further as you exhale, and again a little further as you inhale. Bend your knees, drop your head down, and then dropping into your feet, exhale to rise up, coming up. So the breath in, and then the breath out. And the breath in is long, 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 long. The breath out, you fold, 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 fold. Bending the knees, inhale, exhale to rise. So let's just try that once more at your own pace. Folding in on yourself and lifting up from yourself. Rounding in on yourself, a little further rounding in as you breathe in, and then from your heels, lift up to the sky. Okay, and just pausing there, noticing how you feel. And again, so when we're experiencing our energy, what are the energetic shifts? So we experience a shift in body temperature, in heat and sensation. And we also experience a shift in our mind state as well. So just go into those little shifts for a moment. Okay. And we'll come up to stand if that's okay. Otherwise, feel free to stay in the chair. If you come up to stand and you'd like to have access to a chair, just have the chair in front of you so that you can work with it. And I would recommend the top chair as opposed to the seat, so it's not so low. So we're going to move towards the back of the mat. So if you're working with a chair, have the chair at the front of your mat. And we turn our right toes out a little, and then take a step forward with the left foot. So if you're working with a chair, you'll have the chair in front of you for support here. And you can bring your hands onto it. If you're not working with the chair, then you're more upright in your torso. Okay. And if you're not working with the chair, then you want to bring your hands behind your back. So if your hands are on the chair, you leave them there. Otherwise, your hands can come behind your back. So what we're looking for is a bit of an openness across the front of the chest. This heart space is lifting. So as you breathe out, I'd like you to bend your front knee. And then take a breath in. So you're in like a warrior shape. And then on your next exhale, start to straighten your front leg and fold forwards towards it. And as you breathe in, bend your front knee and lift your chest up away from your front knee. As you exhale, you're folding forwards towards your front leg or the chair. As you inhale, you're bending your front knee and lifting up. And explore this little pattern. It might not be very deep, that's okay. Your front knee might not be very bent, but bending it so much so you feel there's a difference between straightening, lengthening, and strengthening and bending the knee. Okay, so let's find that warrior one shape for a moment. So warrior one is with the knee bent. And we'll just take a few moments to breathe here, snuggling the chin in towards your throat, lifting this chest region. And when you're ready, front leg moves towards straight and you step your feet together. And that side that you've mostly been bending the knee, you might like to have a little shake on that leg. Okay. So just have a little walk around the room. Just mindfully walk, let your arms release as well, sorry. Let your arms be free. Just move around your space gently. Look around the room. Watch how your feet, or feel how your feet make that connection with the earth. And eventually just walking back slowly towards your mat. Sighing the breath. And we'll find our left toes turn out a little and your right foot steps forwards. So again, you either have your hands on the top of the chair or your hands come behind you. And just see if you can change the grip of your hands so they're just interlacing a slightly different way. So with an exhalation, bend your front knee so that you move into this warrior one shape. Just take a moment to pause as you breathe in, and then on the exhale, you're folding. The front leg moves towards straight. And on the inhale, you're lifting. Peel your chest away. Imagine you're in like a cobra position from the ground. And as you exhale, fold over your front leg. And as you inhale, bend your front knee and scoop your chest up from the ground. So a little cycle movement here. Spiraling throughout your body. Maybe the head lifts, maybe you'd like to look up. And then draw the chin in as you fold down. So just whenever you're ready, finding that warrior one shape, pausing here for a breath or two, snuggle those shoulders away from your ears. And then step your feet together and relax the arms. And that side that you have been bending the knee, just give that leg a little shake. And then again, a nice little walk around the space. So you're kind of moving on from that experience. Okay, bringing yourself back when you're ready. We're just going to explore some balancing. And again, just feel free to be near something. So could be your mantelpiece or top of the chair or a wall. And think about one leg is moving away from you. So the back leg moves away. And then you bring the knee in towards you. On a breath in, you sway one leg back. And on a breath out, you bring the knee in. Doesn't need to be so big. Could just be a little taking of the foot back and stroking the foot along the floor. If you'd like to bring your arms into this, then as you take the leg back, the arms can come up, or one arm can come up. You could slide one arm up the wall. And then as you breathe out, draw the knee in and bring the arms back down. So on the inhale, bend your knee as well that you're balancing on, because that's going to support you. And on the exhale, bring the knee in. Okay, explore this a few times. So if you have a wall, you could always slide your hands up the wall as you take the leg back, and then slide the hands down as you bring the knee in. But just whenever you feel you need to rest from this, just let the foot come down, and the leg that you've been balancing on needs to have a little shake. And just from your wall there, Becky, what you might like to do is a downward facing dog type pose. So you take your hips back and stretch, push your hands into the wall. And Karen, you could do the same on your mantelpiece. If you bring your hands to the top, stretch your hips back and away from the mantelpiece. Bend your knees a little. Maybe sway your hips from side to side. And when you feel ready to come up, just slowly come up. Okay. So we're going to do the other side. If you need to rest for a little bit, obviously, please rest. But we'll take that balance on the other side when you're ready. And to begin with, just focus on the leg moving away. So the leg moves away as you breathe in, and the knee comes through as you breathe out. And that balancing leg that you're standing on, the foot is long on the ground, the knee is a little bit bent. And you can start to bring the arms in when you're ready, or one arm. And the leg moves away, and the top arm moves up, and then the leg comes in, and the arm comes down by your side. And just exploring this a few more times in your own way, in your own pattern. If you're using a wall, just focus more on the leg moving away from you, or lifting one leg off the ground, activating your bottom. And just whenever you feel ready then to come back to a neutral position, the leg that you've been standing on, just let that have a little shake. Okay. And just slowly come back to a position where you can rest, either standing or come and sit into a chair. Lift the shoulders up for a moment, take a breath in, shrug the shoulders away as you exhale. Head has a little wobble. And we'll take the feet wider apart. So you could do this again to a chair if you don't want this to be so deep, a forward fold. And your hands are coming onto your hips. And as you exhale, you're tipping forwards, hinging at your hips. And your hands either slide down and you bring them onto a chair. And your head is supported by your hands. Or you can come further down towards the ground, tucking your body in towards that space that you have between the legs. So just take your time to find a forward fold you can be in for a few breaths. Anchoring down through your heels, lifting up through your tail, and then lengthening along the spine and the back of the body. Yeah, and come up whenever you feel ready. Just take your time. And you can bring your feet back together when you're ready. And that little walk around your space you might like to do, just to kind of move around the space gently. Okay, so in a moment we're going to transition to all fours. So any little wrist movements that you might like to do here, just to warm up those wrists again. And when we come onto all fours, you might like to have some cushioning for your joints, so the knees and the wrists. So as you come down, just make sure you have some cushioning if you need it. So all fours position. Feet are generally soft, but if the feet are stiff, maybe the toes are a little tucked under. So just have a sense of what works for you. And then the wrists, if they're a bit pinchy directly underneath your shoulders, just take them a little bit further ahead. And a nice tip is to also fold the mat so that your wrists are a little more open. Okay, so thinking about a long spine from your tail to the crown of your head. Imagine if you had like a ruler along your back, it would be pretty flat. So you're not dropping in that lower back region. But likewise, you're not rounding up towards the sky. So there's a long spine in place. Crown of the head is pressing forwards and your tail is stretching back and away. With your breath in, have a little nudge over your wrists with your shoulders, just like you're tipping forwards ever so slightly. And then tuck your toes under and send your hips back ever so slightly with your long spine. As you breathe in, soften the feet and tip your shoulders forwards. And as you breathe out, tuck the toes under and take your pelvis back. And explore this pattern a few times, coming forwards and backwards over your arms. Your arms stay strong. Don't drop your tummy. Keep your tummy slightly engaged, your pelvic floor. And when you feel like you just need to rest that pressure away from your wrists, softening the feet and moving your hips in the direction of your heels. They don't need to go all the way, but you're inviting a longer stretch along the sides of the body, the back of the body, along the armpits. And if your head doesn't comfortably meet the ground, support it with your hands so that your head comes down into a child's pose of some kind. So you're rounding in on yourself. It's a deeper stretch. And then when you're ready, walk your hands away again, and then breathe in and come forwards again. Long, long breath in, coming forwards. And then tuck the toes under, long, long breath out, taking the pelvis back. So a breath in, soften the feet, move forwards. And a breath out, tuck the toes under, roll back. Okay, this time, as you breathe out, lower yourself down to the ground. So you're on the front of your body. And just make a position for your head that's comfortable. So find a way for your arms to be on the ground. And your head comfortable. So you could have a cushion as well. So just take your time to establish a position where you can rest for a few moments. Not weight bearing on your knees or your wrists. Okay, so let's bend one leg, like you're gonna point the foot up to the sky. So one knee bends. And I'd like you to breathe in and stretch your toes towards the sky. And then breathe out and draw your toes towards the ground. As you breathe in, pointing the toes up, just on one leg. And then as you breathe out, point the toes down. And just exploring that again, maybe once more. And then with your toes pointing up, foot is long. And exhale, place the foot down. And then lift the leg off the ground a little. Point the toes a little further away. And then exhale and place the leg down. Other side, bend the knee. As you breathe in, point the toes up. And as you breathe out, point the toes down. So you're flexing and extending your foot and your ankle.
I can't bend my leg up.
Okay, don't worry. Can you do it with your legs straight?
Yeah. I get cramp at the moment, so.
Yeah, don't worry, don't worry. And then lifting the leg off the ground, so lowering the foot, lifting the leg off the ground. Take a breath in, and then exhale and put the foot down. Are you okay on the front of your body, Becky? Yeah, okay. So can you bring your arms into a kind of cactus position? So they're out away from you. And then your head comes down. Now you could turn your head to one side. If that's not comfortable, bring your full head down or have a cushion. Yeah, cushion for the head. Okay. And the glasses as well. Yeah. So let's think about this heart space region. As you breathe in, lift your chest off the ground, lift your head off the ground and bring your head to center. You're tucking your chin in towards your throat. And then as you breathe out, lowering the chest and turning your head the other way. So as you breathe in, lifting up, keep your elbows down for the time being. So it's much more about this chest region. And then on the exhale, lower down. And your pelvis is heavy and your legs are heavy. So lift up, up, up as you breathe in. And then down, down, down as you breathe out. Now you have the option, you could raise one leg. Don't bend it, just lift it off the ground as you breathe in. So your bottom is active. Now if your foot gets a bit crampy, just let the foot soften and then exhale and come down. And again on the opposite side. So the opposite leg, like a little bow shape in your body, up from the ground and then down. So feel free to rest whenever you need to. If you'd like to try that once more on each side, you're welcome to. Okay, and just pause when you're ready, support your head. Maybe your pelvis has a little wriggle here from side to side. And we'll just explore one more variation here, but obviously if you feel you need to rest at this stage, please do. You can come over onto your back. We're going to find that cactus position again. And this time when we come up, breathing in, we're just going to try to maintain that lift. And then on your next breath in, lifting the elbows so there's more extension. The arms starting to get a bit more involved. You could always come to your fingertips as well, like a crocodile pose. This is called, and then your head is really, really drawn in. So you don't need to lift the chin. Although what you might like to do actually is you could breathe in and lift the chin and breathe out and draw the chin in. So just a little bit of neck extension and flexion there, whilst you try to maintain that openness across your chest. And just whenever you need to come down, release the chest and the arms, find the ground. Oh. Sigh your breath. And then make a transition slowly onto the back of the body. So be really gentle with the transition. And when you find yourself on your back, just lift your head a moment. So from the top of your shoulders, let your fingertips come onto the tops of your shoulders. And then walk the fingertips along the neck to the base of the skull. And then lift your head off the ground and then place it back down again as your hands continue to stroke your scalp. And then let the arms come down. So you found this lovely length along the back of your neck. Bringing the knees in over your tummy one by one, or just take one leg at a time, depending on how this feels for your back. And your hands just cup onto the tops of your knees. And as you breathe in, roll the knees away from you. And as you breathe out, draw the knees into yourself. So on a breath in, the knees roll away. And on your breath out, the knees gather in. It's very gentle movement here, nothing too effort-based. Yeah, you could do one leg at a time. You could do both legs together. You could also circle your knees around, massaging your tummy. So just take whichever movement here is available to you in terms of that relief for your back. And then either bring your hands behind the hamstrings or let them just be out away from you. So that's going to be a bit more strenuous for your core if your arms are away from your body. So with your exhalation, push your feet up to the sky, draw your toes towards your face. With your inhalation, soften the knees a little and your ankles. It's almost like a half bend. And then on the exhale, push through the feet. So it's like you're pressing into the pelvis as your feet lift up. And then on the inhale, invite a softening in your knees and your ankles. On the exhale, you're pressing up. And on the inhale, you're softening down. And just once or twice more in this way. And then keep your knees drawn in over your tummy. And let your hands rest onto the shin bones. So they're kind of upper shins towards the knees. And you can have a bit of space between the knees. Now, as you exhale, roll ever so slightly to one side. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, roll slightly to the other side. Inhale to center. Invite your head to go with you as well. So as you exhale, maybe you're going to roll a little bit further. And then on the inhale, you're coming back. And each time you come into this now, if you'd like to, invite a little bit more range in your roll so that eventually you roll entirely onto the side of your body, like you're in a little fetal shape on the side of your body. Keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling. On your shoulders, let your shoulders stack. And then start the action with the top leg, lift top leg up, up, up. And then the other leg joins in, and then you roll the other way. So this is trusting your body, not flopping from one side to the other. So if you find it's a bit much to go all the way, just notice where you find your range is, your limit, and then invite the other leg to just roll the other way for a moment. So you're kind of maybe coming all the way onto your side or almost getting there as you invite the roll to take you over. And then eventually top leg lifts and you go again. So it's like you're massaging the back of your body and inviting this lovely spiraling movement for your spine. And you can come back when you're ready and have your arms away from your body. And this time bring your feet to the floor and let your feet be about shoulder distance apart. And as you breathe in, lower one knee out to the side. So just one knee rolls out. And then pause and then breathe in and the other knee rolls out. So you're in this open shape. Your feet can come together and your knees are apart from one another, like a butterfly opening out. Then with your next out breath, bring one leg across so you move into a rotation. The knee comes over. And if you'd like to, bring that knee higher up so you find this rotation across your pelvis. If you're not sure, you can always just have a little look. So lowering the knees all the way to one side, having come from that open shape. Now, when you find yourself there, you might like to bring your head in the opposite direction. And breathe into this chest area. Breathe into the space directly behind the chest area towards the ground as well. And when you feel ready to come back, open the top leg. Let the top leg open so you find that open shape in your body. And then move the other leg over to the other side. And you can invite it to go a little bit higher up so your hand can reach it for support. And then your head rolls away from the legs. That's okay. Otherwise, your head can roll in the same direction as well, or be in a neutral position. We'll just take a few moments to breathe here, the space around the heart and the back, finding that seat of vitality and circulation as you breathe in, and the settling as you breathe out. Open your top leg once again, find that open shape in your body, and then close the legs in on themselves and hug over your tummy once again. And if you would like to, on an exhale, lift your head towards your knees, rounding in. And on an inhale, release the head down and the knees just soften away from you. Try that a few times. And in your time, when you're ready, Perhaps you're going to stretch out on the back of the body. We'll take a short relaxation here. And we'll come up and close the practice in a seated position. But if you prefer at that point to stay on your back, you can do. So find a position you can rest into for a few moments. Maybe find a little bit of length in your body. Extend your fingertips and your toes away from you as you breathe in, and then soften that effort as you breathe out. So finding this lovely elongation in your body with your breath in, and then a softening as you breathe out. And just rest here for a few moments with your breath. Perhaps you can feel or sense the light coming in through the windows. You feel or sense your own energy circulating and pulsing in your body. Spring brings out excitement and wonder. And through the practice of yoga, we can explore the jungle of its extremes. We introduce twists to promote flexibility, and we consider the sides as well as the front and back of the body like a rushing stream which cleans the banks. We feel the need to get longer again. In the winter, the mists, the clouds and the sky have let us fold in on ourselves. In spring, we feel a great desire to look around and expand. You might like to gently rock your head from side to side. And wave your feet from side to side. And when you feel ready to, you can roll onto your side and curl up into a seed-like shape. And slowly coming up into a seat, onto a cushion or a folded blanket. Just let your legs be out in front of you. And bend one knee so that it's about halfway. Well, so that it's in line with your opposite knee. So the foot's on the floor and it's in line with your opposite knee. So it's not like you're hugging it in tight to yourself. And then you're going to let your arms just rest around the front of that shin bone. The other leg can be relaxed. And we want to lift up through the crown of the head. Then as you exhale, you start to turn this heart space region around your torso. See if you can initiate from your abdomen. Draw the navel in and turn the torso. And then breathing in, lifting up. And then breathing out and walk your hand around the back of you. So one hand is on the front leg, one hand is behind you. And as you breathe in, you lift up through the crown of your head. And as you breathe out, you turn a little further if that feels okay. And just whenever you feel ready to come back, exhale, walk your hands back. Slide your bent leg out in front of you. And then draw the other leg in. Place your hands around the shin bone. Take a moment to pause and settle. And when you're ready to turn on the exhale, just let the tummy draws in and the heart space turns. And exploring this until you find that hand joins in. And then your other hand just rests lightly on your leg that's bent. And on each exhale, the turning continues. On each inhale, there's a lift and length in your spine. Just let it be gentle. Try not to force yourself into this. And when you're ready to return, let your legs come out in front of you. And just for a few moments, exploring this little pushing action once more. You push forwards, you come back. You push forwards, and then you come back. And you can explore that a few times over your front legs. Maybe invite your head to roll into it as well. So there's a little forward bend as you come up. So more gently than we did earlier in the practice, more of a releasing than an activating. And just whenever you feel ready to pause that, come back to your starting point and find a comfortable seat. So if this is uncomfortable, maybe rest onto a chair or rest up against a wall. I'm going to introduce a little mudra for us. If you take your baby finger and ring finger, baby finger and ring finger if that's comfortable. Otherwise, maybe just one of those. And then the other two fingers are relaxed away from the hand. Place the mudra on your lap. And this mudra is our prana mudra. So this energy that we've been focusing on, this idea of vitality and expansion, is resonated, or what did my teacher say? Emulate. Emulate the feeling, the quality, the longer you stay with a mudra. So the longer we have these little focal points, the more we can really begin to harness our vitality, our energy. And each mudra is different. Each mudra is representative of something else that's happening in the body. So imagine the breath passing like a rainbow from one hand to the other across your heart space, beautiful open space, and then to the other side. On the exhale, you could go around the back of the body to the other hand, and then the inhale across the front of the body, and the exhale across the back of the body. And with each exhalation, as you go across the back of the body, let your spine settle into place, let your pelvis snuggle into the ground. And with each inhale, as the breath passes across the front of the body, just noticing that rise and expanding quality of your breath across your heart region. Notice if you're holding in around your jaw area, relaxing the tongue and the teeth, smile. And the exhale is the cleaning of the banks. And the inhale is the vitality of the breath. And when you're ready, that little smile, the palms from side to side, just gently coming back. Maybe turn in one direction and then turn in the other direction. And bow forwards to yourself. And then open the palms up to the sky like a flower in bloom. And just honouring your energy, your vitality, and your connection to yourself, your breath, and your mind. Okay, so if you'd like to, just get those legs out again, give them a little bit of a shake or a massage. And then you can continue with your day. Okay, thank you.